The revolution will not be televised.
The revolution will be streamed live.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode, brand spanking new. All right.
Critical and Thinking.
Podcast, Ty Barnett.
Ian Harris.
What's going on, you guys? There's a lot going on. We got a lot to talk about.
It's a busy news week.
Let me tell you, man, this is not a great thing because it's just not, but I have to admit, with the current thing that we got going on in the country, we haven't had any downtime for like almost 3 years.
It's amazing. It's
3
amazing.
years. We've had constant shit going on to talk about in life. Because every other president gave you downtime. Every other president gave you serious, like you had like, you almost like shit didn't happen for a while so much to the point where you almost forgot that you had a president. Like,
well, they had to invent shit like a tan suit and a sleeveless dress.
You know, so it's weird that like I said,
Obama had coffee in his hand when he saluted somebody.
Yeah, and that's the worst thing ever.
And nowadays it's like you know.
Yes.
I mean, Trump had coffee in his hand while he was
Kim.
Well, he was masturbating with 9 porn stars that he paid off, and Roy Moore.
Can you believe these porn stars? Stop it. So we got a lot to cover. We're gonna try and get it all in this time frame. So are we gonna start with Michael Cohen?
Yes.
Let me tell you what's tripped out about this, bro. To watch liars get mad at a dude who lied while at the same time protecting a liar.
Right.
Is the craziest thing that we've seen.
And the funny thing is, the reason he is in trouble is because he lied about Trump's dealings.
Exactly.
So he went to jail, or he got busted.
And he is going to jail for the lies
for
and
lying
that he's done.
To cover up. So they know that he covered up something.
Yes.
Now he's coming out and saying, yes, I covered something out. And they're like, oh, are you going to trust a liar?
See, and on top of that, he provided the proof. Like, he provided the checks. And so it's like, here's the check of him for the payoff. Here's him actually signing the check for the payoff. Here's him motorboating titties in between signing checks for the payoff. And they're still like, you're lying. I'm like, but
right.
He's motorboating right here. What are you talking about? So
Dude, the crazy thing, too, is that they act like they've never they act like they've never heard of how prosecutions go.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know if you saw my thing yesterday, but this is every single. This is how it works. This is exactly how it works. This is
the process.
Yes, if that were the case, that you can't trust a criminal that you brought in to turn state's evidence or to
a lot of these mob dudes would never be convicted.
Every single one. All you would have is like the petty drug dealers. You'd have think about that. So if you get caught selling weed and they bust you,
God damn, why you got to say that while we're on live, bro? What's up? God damn. And they're like, Ty, we need to figure out who's supplying. I'm telling on everybody, by the way. I'm telling on everybody. You ain't even got to worry about that with me. I'm telling on every fucking body that is associated with that. Everybody.
Yes.
I will proudly be the rat.
Let's just say,
ain't doing your time.
He's already got the stitches.
Goddamn right.
But think about that. Like, if every single case is done this way. Yeah. They bust the small time drug dealer guy. They go, hey man, you want to go to jail for a long time, or you want to tell us who gave you those drugs? Who's the guy bringing it in? And then he goes, oh well, I buy it from this guy. Exactly. So then they set up a deal, a sting or whatever. They bust that guy, right? And then that guy goes, well, I'm just the middleman. And they go, well, who do you get it from? And they go, we'll set up a sting for that. And they build evidence. And then they get the evidence
to get the big fish.
And then they have the smaller guys come on and testify.
Who knows better than the people who were actually in the intricacies of what was going on?
And he was under oath yesterday.
Yes.
When he wasn't under oath. I mean, it's insane. It's absolutely. And meanwhile, we know that Trump is a fucking compulsive liar.
Well, which again.
So why do they care? Now they care about lying?
But this is why I say, and I was actually telling a friend of mine this before we came on, and this is my message to all people that are still supporting this dude. I'll be honest with you. I would respect you guys a lot more if you just said, we don't care that he lies. We don't care. Right. Just say that. Because that's a different narrative now. That's a whole nother thing to deal with. But don't say, okay, we only care about lies when it's on this part, because that doesn't seem like you really care about lying.
Right.
Now, with this dude coming forth and saying all this stuff, because I watched the hearings and I'm watching, like, first of all, Republicans barely asked any questions. They just came out to to Sandy's point, and to the people watching as well that aren't on Facebook Live, because I got to remember to do this. We're doing this on Facebook Live as well, so we will be commenting on people who are commenting on the Facebook Live post. So I want to address something that Darby just said. Sadly, the strategy is to discredit him as a liar is already working. No, it's working with people who don't want to believe that Trump is bad. It's only those only people it's working with.
Well, and the thing is, you could give them video of Trump lying. You could give video of him saying it while doing it, while saying that he's lying about lying. I mean, you could give them. They could be in the room with him doing it, and they'd be like, "Yeah, but you know what? It's cool." Or, "No, he's not really lying. It's fake news." Like
there's actually video of this dude saying that countless video of this dude saying Mexico will pay for the wall, and then he literally came out and said, "I never said that Mexico was paying for the wall."
He also said that he would give $1 million to a charity if Elizabeth Warren came, and she did, and I never said that. Here's video of you saying, right. You fucking idiot. It's insane. It's insane.
This is why I say where we are as a country right now is rough, only because the basics of the country don't seem to matter anymore. This is not about one person is one person, but when you are constantly saying, okay, I don't want to believe anything that you're saying because you seem to be coming from the other side.
Right.
That's the problem. That's why America has the issue that we have right now. We will keep this as light as possible, I promise. But that's why we have the issue that we have now.
Sometimes you got to go heavy.
I know. But I want people to understand that we're trying to put there's no silver lining in this. I can't even pretend it is.
No.
But the fact that we're at a point to where people will ignore straight facts because someone from the other side is saying it.
Right.
They will ignore corruption because somebody from their side is doing it. That is where the problem is. This is the division this is why when was it Lincoln that said a nation divided can't, was it? It's a quote, a nation can't stand or something like that. And that's
you need to write those quotes down. A nation can't do some shit, man.
I should look that up on here.
A nation divided is fucking crazy, man.
I don't know. The Bill and Ted edition of history.
It's like when Lincoln said that thing, man.
That thing, right? But you know what I mean, Darby. You know what I mean. You guys at home, if you know the quote from Lincoln, please put the quote up from Lincoln. But you know what I mean. The fact that people are ignoring, and just so you guys understand, Ian is really big into science. He's really big into fact-based information.
Fact-based information, yes.
I'm being honest. So I know for you how frustrating this is. How do you feel? Let me ask you this. Do you feel like it will get better? Or is it going to just continue to be?
No, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. Now, those people I think we're slowly seeing. I mean, you are seeing a few of I hate calling them rational Republicans because that doesn't make sense to me. That's an oxymoron. But there are some out there, people that I thought I would never agree with, David Frum and George Will, and these people that have been lifelong conservatives that are writers and pundits and whatever, right, that have completely left the Trump camp. And they're like George Will, who I never thought I would ever agree with a single thing on.
A house divided against itself cannot stand. That's what it was.
Yes, thank you. I'm seeing these people, they're completely on the other side. They're like, we got to get rid of this guy. And it's like, okay, there is some hope there. And I think slowly people are going to drop off. But the people where the Dunning-Kruger effect is in full effect, which is when you are really dumb and uneducated, you think you're super smart and know everything. And it's the worst, the less you know, the more you think that you know more. And the more sure you are of it. So I think that group of people is going to get smaller, but they're going to get more ingrained in their convictions. They're going to believe it more because the cognitive dissonance, they have to completely shut down.
Yes,
they have to completely shut down, or otherwise their entire worldview is going to crumble.
But now this is where, and I had this conversation with somebody the other day. We were talking about how they can suspend reality for certain facts, but then other things they'll just still stick by. Like we know that if you walk into a bank and you say, give me the money in the bank, and they say, you don't have an account here, is like, still, I think I got an account here. I believe give me the money. That's called robbery. That's what it is. But so they don't do that. They don't go anywhere and just rob banks because they believe they've convinced themselves that they have money in this bank. So they do follow a certain code. To me, when you're like, okay, you know what? Here's the proof right here. I'm showing you the proof. You don't want to believe that source? Here's another source showing you the same thing. Right. Here's another source showing you the same thing. And when you're constantly saying, I don't want to believe that. Right. That's one thing. But when people turn around and say, okay, but you got to believe this. And I'm like, well, okay, then show me your proof. Proof of what? Right. Well, I was saying, now it's a problem. To me, it was like, I was saying yesterday, it's like, imagine watching any gangster movie. I was thinking of Scarface. Imagine watching Scarface with one of your Trumpster friends, if you have one, or somebody, Trump said, you know. Okay? You're watching Scarface, and you get to that, hour 2, where it's like the lawyer, played by James Woods, ironically, who is a super hardcore Trump supporter, but where he turns because he finds out that Tony Montana betrayed him to Sosa or whatever the deal is. So he turns on him, and that's like you watching the whole movie, seeing what Tony Montana did, seeing that watching everything he did, sold coke, killed people, whatever, and then getting to the end and go, yeah, but I can't trust that lawyer. But we watched Tony Montana kill people and sell drugs. He's got a pile of cocaine. Yeah, but you really gonna believe the lawyer? He's a liar. He's a scumbag. He threw the informant out of the helicopter. Yeah, yes. We watched this. We watched it go down together, right? And then now this guy's just telling them what happened that we already saw. But still, you know what? That Tony Montana guy's funny. Exactly. I like what he says. He says some funny shit sometimes. I like how he made fun of that one guy and called him a fucking cockroach. That guy's on point. I like that guy. No way, man. No way he did it. No way he's snorting that cocaine right now off the table. No way he said, hello to my little friend's fake fucking news. Like, that's what you're watching right here. And that's the problem that I have more so. And now, like I said, one person is one person, but when you get a group of people that are still now in the mindset of we got to suspend all this. That's why I like with this whole Spike Lee thing, which congratulations to Spike Lee, by the way, winning his first, was this his first Oscar? I think it's his first Oscar. I think it's first, but he didn't get it for directing. He got it for his screenplay, which is great, but he should get something for directing. He's a great director. Yeah, and which, by the way, again, he deserves a Lifetime Achievement Award. I'm going to put that out there now. Maybe someday he actually will. He should get one. He's still kind of young. So but what he tweeted, not tweeted, but in his acceptance speech, he said... Isn't that funny that we go to tweet before we go to talk? I know. Nowadays. How the fuck did we get to where we get all our information now from tweets? It's like, because our president. That's bananas to me. Like, dude, remember it was you had 3 news sources: ABC, CBS, and NBC. Right. 3, right? And you had Ted Koppel. What's the dude from back in the day that announced Peter Jennings? But you had Bill Wallace, Walter Cronkite. Yeah, right? And when you got your news from these people, you're like, okay, all right, let me pay attention to Walter Cronkite. Well, but also because those people had integrity, right? And they believed in being journalists. But now we have this thing to where we go and we're inundated with with all of these fucking different streams of information, which is not. I got to be honest. On one end, it's great because you can look up certain things, but the other part is like, man, since we don't have just 3 sources to go to, and we trusted those sources. Now we have to go fall back on being an adult and doing your actual research. Right. If someone tells you, hey man, you know what, you can actually drink bleach, bro. And you're like, well, but it doesn't. It says on the label you can't drink. Psst, man, if you want to believe what them fucking scientists say, if you want, right? Well, are you going to drink bleach? No. I don't. I'm not into bleach. But the news says not to drink it. Well, yeah, but you going to believe the news? What side did it come from? Yeah, who told you not to drink bleach? Who owns that bleach company? Exactly. Coca-Cola. That means they don't give. Thank you. So the fact that we're here and it is amazing to me. So like when I see that when Spike comes out and he says, okay, listen. The election's coming up, 2020, and all he said was, choose love over hate. Right. Choose love over hate. That's all he said. This motherfucker gets pissed and says, look at his racist attack. He specifically says, look, racist attack. First of all, he didn't say your name. And he said he's calling me out, which is hilarious. That's like going into a room, people and going, hey ladies, you should really find, if you're going to look for a man,
if you're going to look for a man, or whatever, or a life partner, doesn't have to be a man, whatever, you're looking for somebody, and you need to find somebody who's faithful and loving, and then have some guy stand up and go, "Oh, so you're calling me out, huh?" Like that's what happened. Like, look. Don't vote for racist. Oh, well, so
look
you're calling me
Look at this guy. Oh, so you saying that everyone doesn't have a choice?
So you're saying don't vote for me. Now you're calling me a racist. No, I didn't say anything. You said that.
Because when I first saw the initial attack from Trump, I was like, oh, man, I wonder what Spike said. Because I was like, I don't remember Spike even mentioning this dude's name.
Right.
So I looked and I was like, oh, so you think that when he says choose love over hate, you automatically went to that you're hate.
Right.
So you already...
That's called projecting, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So to me, when I see this, and he calls it racist, even though this is the same person that's supported by the KKK, white nationalists, white supremacists.
Wait, when did all of a sudden they become they also like that weird looking Jabba the Hutt looking motherfucker that said that the LGBTQ community is the new KKK?
The new KKK.
You know what's funny is the people that are always so upset about the new KKK don't seem to care about the old KKK.
Never have a problem with the old KKK,
which is still around, by the way.
They actually but they'll tell you, come on, you barely hear from those guys. You mean besides the rallies that they're doing now, all that? But I have to. The people have to understand at this.
Now they're
point,
so upset about racism because Spike Lee.
On a good note,
we've got to stop this.
If you want to get Republicans, if you want to get people to be mad about racism, have somebody else do it on the other side. Then they'll be mad about racism. You want to get mad about corruption, have somebody on the other side be corrupt.
Right.
That's the key now. But like I said, I just want people to understand this, and this is part of the reason why we do the podcast. You have to, at some point, take responsibility for yourself as an adult. You have to. You have to. You cannot rely on these people that are in charge on the left or the right to dictate what you decide to research, know, or whatever you decide to do as an individual adult. You cannot. The fact that we are looking at these motherfuckers as beacons, and you're like, no, man, you have to understand something, man. These people technically still work for us. They're in positions of way better situation. They get better health care. They get better benefits overall. They get security around them all the time. We don't.
Right.
We don't. So it's up to us to fend for ourselves in this fucking concrete jungle of society. And the people who choose to just specifically ignore the shit that is actually this is the shit you should pay attention to. Those are the people right there that are going to be in for a rude awakening, just like they're finding out with their tax returns. So I honestly, when I see people,
you done your taxes yet? And
no, I have not. No, I'm scared to do my taxes right now, bro.
But you're getting more back each paycheck. First off, no, because you're still filing the same. Okay, if you didn't change your filing, you're not.
Who told you that, Liftard?
And what's happening if you file this, if you're filing and you're getting more back, it doesn't mean you're still going to end up owing at the end. You're still paying the same amount overall. It's if that's even the case. But the difference is that if people aren't noticing the $50 extra they're getting on their paycheck, they don't notice any difference really because it's very tiny. And then all of a sudden, and they're used to getting a couple grand back at the end of the year, and all of a sudden now they owe.
Come on, man.
It's even if it's the exact same amount, it's screwing them over because now they don't have it in their. They didn't decide to take that $50 and put it in the bank because they might owe at the end of the year. It's fucking insane. I'm right now
trying to adopt some of Angelina Jolie's kids to file them on my taxes. I need some dependents to throw in there. It is, yeah, exactly. April, it says be very afraid. Oh, and Erica, you're right. He did trip over that in saying that. So, but to me, man. And this is why I say at some point as adults, we have to get back to that point of taking pride in being adults. Remember that slogan, knowledge is power. Isn't that, remember that? Now that slogan means nothing to people. Like, oh yeah, what knowledge you talking about though?
Yeah, whose knowledge?
Whose knowledge? What source did it come from? What
That's my favorite. Who's facts?
Yeah.
Who's facts? That doesn't work that way.
I'm waiting for the day, honestly.
1 + 1 is 2. Yeah.
See?
Who's 2?
I'm waiting for the day where they change that too, bro. I am waiting. Any day they'll be like, well, first of all, who invented math?
Right. Yeah.
Who invented
you're
math?
going to believe mathematicians, the liberal mathematicians, the same people who say that the same people that say that numbers means. Come on,
numbers never lie. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Wait, who the fuck said that? I'm going to take, so you telling me if I got 2 objects in this hand, right, and I got another 2 objects in this hand, you're telling me I got 4 objects? Fucking right. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, right.
Look it up.
That's what they want you to believe. The Illuminati's going to tell you that.
This is bananas. So, like I said, we're not going to harp on that too much. Just know that you still are a free thinker so far until they take it away from you. But get back to that idea of being prideful and wanting to know what the real situation is. And I'm saying this, to be honest with you, from both sides, even though there's one side that is very well proven as being way more liars.
Yes.
Way more. It's not even close.
Not even close.
It's not even
worst false equivalency ever. When they go, both sides are the same. That's literally to me. That's. I mean, I love it when they say that.
Ask Al Franken if both sides are the same.
Both sides are the same. Really? Okay. Yeah.
No, it's not.
That's like going, let's see. Well, there's 2 chairs here. This one is a literal Iron Maiden. It's made of spikes. You sit in it. You're gonna die from nail. This one over here might have a tack underneath the cushion. They're both the same, bro. They're both the fucking same.
Both could pierce the skin.
Totally.
Okay, all right. Stop it, bro. Stop.
So that one doesn't have a tack.
So yeah, get back to thinking for yourself. That's all I'm asking. Think for yourself. That's why we have the information. If they start taking this information from us, then you're really going to have something to complain about. We have the information. Please use it. Be an adult and stop with the name calling, man. I'm so tired of people. Whenever I get online,
you dumb fucks.
this motherfucker here. But whenever people do that, whenever that's their first resort, I'm like, okay, we're automatic. We stop. I don't.
I got to be honest with you. I do it, and it's hard. It's hard sometimes. Not to,
but never. But I watch your post though, dude. You never go in on somebody that you don't know and just say you dumb motherfucker. You don't do that.
But the problem is that it is. We were talking on your page just the other day, today, whatever. It was about somebody said something about you calling somebody names, and I was like, look, at some point. There gets to be this point where people are like, hey, man, can't people just have different opinions or whatever? It's like, yes, you can have different opinions. But A, when we talk about different opinions, back your shit up with facts.
Please.
So we can have a discussion about it, A. B, if your opinions are, like somebody posted on my friend's thing, he said, well, if you, so you're saying, because he said something about if you support this dude still, just unfriend me. And someone was like, oh, so if you have different opinions than they're a bad person. And I'm like, no.
If you support Nazis, you are a bad person.
Yes. It depends on what that opinion is. If my opinion is don't rape people, and we differ on that,
how do we differ on that?
Then you are a bad person. Yes.
If you have a different opinion of locking kids in cages,
yes, you're a bad person.
You're a shitty person.
If our difference is what kind of fucking cookie you like, then no, you're not a bad person. We just have a disagreement on cookies. but there's kind of
it's not the same thing.
There's kind of a
look
difference.
At this oatmeal raisin loving dude over here.
Yeah, exactly.
This fucking guy.
But it's like, I mean, and at some point when you're like, this dude is literally taking money out of my fucking paycheck. This guy is literally supporting racists and I mean. Everything that he's directly affecting millions of people worldwide. Yeah. Climate change. I mean, so many things that are going to affect my kids and your kids and us directly and everyone in the world that at some point, if you are supporting that guy, you're the getaway driver.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you drive the car for the guy that murders people and then you go, well, dude, why are you getting on me about it? I didn't murder anybody.
Accomplice.
You're a fucking accomplice. At some point, you're a fucking accomplice.
I want to point out something that Todd just said, which is Todd Sellers wrote this, but he said it's all of this us versus them. And let me tell you why that is a very important tactic that these guys have used. Because it convinces these people to believe that no matter what their side is doing, it's right.
Right.
And that's the problem. Like, I've seen people condone stuff because they feel like we're winning. First of all, let me explain this to you again.
Hold up really quick. The problem with that, there is an us versus them. The difference is that they think that they are on the us, that the other people are on the
right. Yes.
It's like, yes, they're doing us versus us.
Yes.
You're not them, motherfucker. You're not them.
If you're not in the 1% or the 3%,
right.
You are in us.
You're not them.
Because let me tell you something.
It's that cartoon where the king is sitting up in the tower and his advisor's there, and there's a whole bunch of people down there, and they're protesting. He goes, well, tell the torch people that the pitchfork people want to take their torches.
Yes.
It's like that's what's fucking happening.
So we're at this point now where, again, and I always said this before, unless the Republic, whoever it is, because no one can say I can talk about one side, unless one side is specifically breaking you off with thousands of dollars to support them only, you're losing. They're coming after your health care. They've already come after your tax returns. They've already come after your sense of security, your social security. They will be coming for that as well. So we have to get out of this mentality that, because I told my mom this the other day, I said, I'm always a little leery of anybody that wants to be in charge of everybody. That scares me.
Right.
For you to think that you know more and you should be in charge of everybody. But since we do have to have lawmakers, since we do have to have congressmen, congresswomen, and senators and all that stuff, don't you think it's better to pick people who actually are doing things for the people? Well,
but that's one thing I will definitely majorly disagree with you here, Todd. Todd says it shouldn't be left versus right. It should be people versus the government. Nonsense, dude. The government is by the people for the people. There are tons of fucking government officials that are evil fucks, yes, but the government as an institution is not our fucking enemy. And there are tons of people in the government that are working for us or that are trying to work for us or they're doing their best within the system to work for us. Right. We need to change shitty things about the system to make it less shitty, and we need to get rid of the fucking evil people that are in the government. But the government is not some sort of institution that's trying to get it. It's actually, our government is fairly well written. It needs changes. We need to update it for sure. But it's not everybody. This false equivalency of everyone in the government is the same is fucking nonsense.
They're not.
If you look at Mitch McConnell and then you go look at fucking AOC or even somebody who liberals love to hate, Dianne Feinstein, because she's kind of in the middle and works the government thing. If you look at those two people, it is fucking night and day. Okay, yeah. It's the difference between the fucking the Catholic Church that's condoning raping kids and like some Unitarian preacher who's like, hey man, everybody's cool. Like there's a huge fucking difference, between the Mitch McConnells and the Paul Ryans that used to be there of the world and the rest of the fucking government. It's a fucking huge difference.
And the fact that these guys have come in now, and let me tell you why. Part of the reason why this dude has been so successful. And I'll stand by this a long time. He picked the right part. He picked the right party to run with, Republicans, because he knows the level of morality that these guys used to pretend to have. We're against all of this spending. We're against all of this corruption. We're against all of this undermining the government and all of this stuff. But now you see that they're actually the ones for it, condoning it and letting it go.
But they always have been, though, and anybody with half a brain could have fucking seen that.
But how they've been able to do this, and this is, I think, kind of where I think Todd was going with this a little bit. But
yeah, I didn't mean to go down his Todd's throat.
No. I got you.
I'm just like, you know.
But I think where he was going with this is the person in charge right now, okay? The person in charge right now has said, you know what? I'm not the smartest. I'm not ethical. I'm not a moral person. I pretend to be about the Lord and all that, but I'm not.
But at least I'm a criminal.
Exactly. So how can I get these people on this side that I pretend to be on to ignore all the shit that I'm doing? Well, what I can do is I could say, well, look, it's a us versus them.
I'm going to give you money. That's what he said.
And he doesn't. Where people fall for it. Let me tell you the smartest thing this dude said. I love the poorly educated. I throw this in people's face all the time because he honestly said, let me go after the people who are the easiest to manipulate. Now, I won't harp on that more because you already know what I think about it. The problem at this point, 2.5, 3 years in, is that how much longer are you still going to believe this? How much more shit do you have to see? Now, the other side, because I don't want people to think I just get on Republicans that don't. Here's my problem with Democrats right now. Stop looking for the perfect candidate.
Yes.
They don't exist. There will not be another Obama.
Right.
Stop it. Stop. I've been seeing all of these memes about Kamala Harris not being credible because she said that she listened to Tupac and Biggie and smoked weed while she was in college. And it's like, well, she graduated from college. I don't give a fuck if she talked about she listened to fucking Curtis Blow. I don't care.
And also that she's not credible because she was a prosecutor. Well, that doesn't just because you were a prosecutor doesn't automatically mean that you were out there illegally trying to throw people in prison. Sorry, it doesn't fucking mean that.
Yes.
She put some people behind bars that were innocent. Who fucking knows? We don't know. But I seriously doubt that was her thing. She's like, someday I'm gonna put a bunch of motherfuckers behind bars who don't deserve to be there.
Stop.
Come on, it's ridiculous.
And we have to understand that. Yeah. Again, no one is perfect. There's not one candidate that you're going to find that is flawless. But if you're
Bernie Sanders, bro.
But if you're telling me that there's not one Democratic candidate that isn't better than the corrupt, racist, con man, liar that we have in office now, the problem isn't with the Democratic Party, it's with the country.
No, every single person listening and onto this right now is better than the guy we have.
I would vote for a can of spinach. A can of spinach before I vote for that motherfucker.
It's unbelievable. And the thing is that, the thing is, here's the biggest thing with the Democratic Party. First off, whoever gets in there, the Bernie bros, and I know that's used as a pejorative, and I was a big Bernie supporter, and I'm not really this time. I'll support him if he ends up becoming the guy for sure. Yeah. Absolutely, we got to support whoever's in there. I don't know
if Bernie Sanders was on a life support system, I still would vote for him.
Yeah, absolutely. But he might need to be on a life support system. He's like 900 years old, and people are like, "That's ageism." Yep, it is. I want whoever to get in to be there for 8 years. He's going to be 80 by the time he takes office if he wins. That means he'll get out at 88. That's scary to me because I don't know it depends on who his vice president is going to be.
If his mental health is okay? If his mental health is, even though, you look at old pictures of Obama, you look at Obama before he got in and then when he got out, that gray hair. Even though Obama still look like he still keeps his shit together.
Every president. Look at George W. Bush looked about 40-something when he came. He looked 90 when he got out of office.
Oh, it's a stressful. I'm pretty sure.
Bill Clinton was like, he's the young handsome guy. He got out of there. He looked like the crypt keeper. Like, what the fuck is going? You know what I mean? Like these.
That's funny. It is a picture of him actually looking just like the crypt keeper.
That job ages you. I wish it would age and. I wish that job would age Trump into his fucking death.
Why the fuck is that not happening? He should be dead by now.
I know. At least from fatty liver disease.
My God. Look at Carter.
Yeah, no, but you know what? I agree, but I don't know that, again, I don't know that.
But Carter's like building houses now. This dude's like, oh my God. We got to do that real quick. Oh, speaking of which, let's pay the bills real quick. Go ahead, Ian.
Oh, well, yeah. If you're listening to, go on we have a Patreon, patreon.com/critical and thinking. And
I'm ready for my part. Go ahead. And
you can see the videos you're watching live go down, and then you can watch, if you haven't seen it, if you're listening to us on iTunes or Stitcher, one of those things, you can, we have extra content. Plus we have video and other stuff like that. So go to patreon.com/critical and thinking.
All it takes is $2.
It's $2 a month. It helps us out a lot to pay this stuff.
I'm going to do it every time.
If you only have $2, the price of a half of a cup of coffee.
Give us $2 to keep going.
Or you can send canned foods.
We prefer the actual money. We got kids. I'm sorry. Was that it?
That's it. We're good.
Go to support.
But the thing is, man, Again, if Bernie wins, cool. It's not that I won't vote for Bernie.
I saw your comment, babe.
It's not that I won't vote for Bernie because he's old, but I think right now I like Kamala Harris. But here's the thing: I think whoever runs against Trump is going to have a hard time because we're seeing. Hillary was one of the most qualified candidates we've ever had. Okay, and again, I voted for Bernie Sanders. I campaigned for Bernie Sanders. Nice. I voted for Bernie Sanders. I campaigned for Bernie Sanders. I did fundraiser for Bernie Sanders. And when he lost, which he actually legitimately lost, sorry, he didn't get robbed. They did some shady things. The DNC did some shady things. They didn't rig the election.
No.
He lost. And then I had to do a bunch of research and go, all right, let me vet this other candidate. And I was like, oh shit, turns out all of this is bullshit. that she's totally.
Oh man, they've made up a ton of shit. They've made up a ton of shit.
So the point is, she lost because white women didn't vote for her. The Bernie bros didn't vote at all or voted third party, or some even voted Trump. So my thing is, can Kamala Harris, a black woman, win in Trump's America right now, going against Trump, who's I don't want to say that
no, you're right. You're right.
I hope she can.
You're right to be skeptical about it. But
if a fucking super famous white woman couldn't fucking win,
but you know what? Let me tell you the problem.
And she doesn't have that. I'm going to be the first black president thing that Obama had that. And it was like people were like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's get this guy in there.
Well, the thing with Kamala Harris is that she has to be very firm. What up, Tana? She has to be very firm. And hey, PJ. Is that she has to be firm in her beliefs. Don't back down, because here's the one thing.
That's the biggest thing with Democrats. They follow the fucking polls. They don't.
No, and don't do that, because let me tell you a reason why this dude
lead the polls
is still being supported by the people he's being supported by, because he doesn't admit fault. He doesn't back down. Even when he is clearly wrong, he doesn't. So he gives them this false sense of, hey, look, he didn't apologize, so there's no reason for us to apologize. Right. Democrats' problem right now is you think that you have to be perfect. Let me tell you something. I guarantee you, Al Franken right now is pissed that he left.
He's the one guy I think that if
he would, let me tell you,
he'd have beat the fucking pants off this motherfucker.
Hey, Al Franken, if you're watching this, which I know you're not, you're not, but if you're watching this, get back in the race, bro.
Seriously.
Hey, the water's fine.
You know what?
The water's fine.
And the first thing you should do is put up a fucking poster of you touching somebody's titties. That's it.
That's it.
I'm touching titties. I'm Al Franken. No,
motorboat them, bro. You can motorboat these titties.
You can
now
do anything. You can do anything you want now. You can. I think it would be funny to see.
Yeah, I know. I heard about that, Tony.
I would love to see that debate, because you know that Al Franken is way smarter.
And he can be funny.
And he can be funny. And you know, at some point he'd be just like, shut the fuck up. I would love to see that in a debate.
Now, I will tell you that. That's what I do want to see in debates now. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not even going to lie.
Shut up, you little dick bitch. That's what I want to say.
If we had real hardcore debates, like lip sync battle,
except for we didn't
would be so much better.
Although things would just go. We already had the Republican. Remember, they started talking about how whose dick was bigger in that one in the primaries. Do we really want President Camacho? That's what I think. Which is what we pretty much have.
Well, let me just whip it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we're going too far with that stuff. We got kids watching.
It's yeah, right. Exactly. So Roy Moore, get over here.
Oh man, that's what we're going to propose now, right here and now on the Critical and Thinking podcast. Ian Harris and Ty Barnett are proposing that the next debate be a lip sync battle. All right. Where you have to come with your lyrical skills.
No, you know,
bring your lyrical skills.
It's the masked president. They do the little voice thing, and the president's got to come out and say what his policies are, and then you vote on the masked president, and at the end they pull it off, and you go, Hillary Clinton.
That's right.
Who knew? I didn't know.
I was voting for it. That's idiocracy. You want to know something, Tony? And to the
that's
people
actually not a bad idea. They should be the candidates should be completely anonymous, no party affiliation, no face. They got to wear a fucking mask.
That'd be crazy.
And you just got to listen to the policy in the debate, and you got to vote on who. And at the end they pull it off, and they boom. What's up, everybody? You're like,
damn it.
Shit.
How the fuck did I vote for?
Did I just vote for Denzel Washington? Oh, man. Yes.
No, who's the dude? Who's the dude from the Affleck thing? The other voice you do, the impression. Who's the guy?
It's President Gilbert Gottfried.
I voted for Gilbert Gottfried. Well, let's just see how it works out.
Let's make America mediocre again.
But this is, you know what's funny? Because Tony Daniels, what up, Tony D? Brought up Idiocracy, which, by the way, I hadn't even heard of the movie until Ian told me about the movie, and I didn't watch it for a while. And then I finally watched the movie, and I was like, man, there's no way that this shit could happen for real. And now I'm looking at
now it's a documentary.
This is bananas. So, like I said, to come back to the other thing we're talking about, it really has to fall back on us as adults, American citizens, people who are proud to be in the voting pool and being able to make your voice be heard. Take pride in being able to say what you want to say, what's going on with this country. Don't let people make you feel bad about this type of stuff. Oh, so we can go to the next thing, by the way. I almost forgot. Let's talk about Robert Kraft. Robert Kraft getting the prostitute.
Oh, yeah. I was like, who the fuck's Robert Kraft? That's because I don't give a fuck about it. Yeah. But by the way, first off, here's the thing where I will say I didn't stand up for Robert Kraft, but I hate these fucking I hate the
By the way, he didn't get mad at the prostitutes for taking the knee.
Two recent stories that drove me fucking nuts. The Dianne Feinstein saying, liberals saying, oh, she's out there, she's pro big oil and she's anti-climate change because did you see the thing with her with the kids? Mm-hmm. It's like, no, what she said was, this isn't going to get passed right now in this climate. I've been doing this for 30 years. If we put our eggs in this basket, nothing's going to change. Right. So 7-year-olds who know nothing about fucking she actually talked to them like an adult and said, no, I'm telling you, this is how we got to do it.
She's talking to Trump.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the 7-year-olds probably are smarter than Trump. But she didn't say, I'm against climate climate change legislation or whatever. She said, we have to do it a way that's going to get it fucking passed so we can get something started. Otherwise, we're going to be 10 years down the road still arguing and about whether it's socialism or not.
Just FYI, it was snowing in Hawaii.
And then, but the other one that drove me crazy is the headline for that Robert Kraft guy said, involved in
human trafficking.
Human trafficking, and then I click on the thing, and it's like, oh, he got a hand job from a massage parlor.
But now
great. Now they may be human trafficking, but he didn't traffic them in to give.
No, he didn't traffic them in, but he did. But to your point earlier, he was in the car when they were driving it away. So he's culpable in this.
However, if you drive down this street we're on here, there's probably 400 massage parlors, and I don't know if any of them. I would have no idea how to know which one's legit or not.
Well, if you go in and you say, "Hey, can I get one of those?"
No, I don't think it works that way, though. I know. I'm saying that.
So the going in saying you want a happy ending, that doesn't.
I don't know that. I don't know if that's how. I don't know if that's how it works. But I'm telling you, I've been.
You can't even. You're not even supposed to say. Had to go in with a sign that just says "happy face" on it, like. I want this.
I'm saying though that there's a ton of these like Thai massage places, and I'm like, I don't know if that's legit or if that's not fucking legit. The point, and I don't know that those people have been human trafficked in, or if they're here, or if they're just people who moved here and this is their job. I don't fucking know. So if you go to a fucking massage parlor wanting a massage and you end up going to the wrong one because it just says Thai massage or whatever, and you go in there. And you're like, oh shit, this isn't what I wanted. Are you now part of a human trafficking ring?
No, if you leave, then it's fine. But if you go there and they've been massaging and now they're on the shaft, at that point, bro, you really got to be like, okay, wait. What part of the massage?
I still think.
Finish first, but I want to know what part of the massage is. What part of the massage is this? I mean, please, by all means, finish. I don't want to tell you how to do
While
your
you're
job.
Doing that, just answer me a couple quick questions. Did you come here on your own, or did somebody bring you here?
What boat did you come on?
Yeah, exactly.
And what did they promise you?
Were you in a canister, or did you fly United? I just need to know, like,
Coach, because that does make a difference.
Point is that. Okay, so he went and saw a prostitute, basically. Okay.
Yeah,
that's fine, and I'm not saying it's fine. I'm saying that.
Which, by the way, I honestly do feel like that should be legal. Prostitution should be legal. I mean, if two adults are consenting to go and they want to pay,
and
for
that would
services,
actually help out with getting rid of, and it would also help out with getting rid of things like diseases and getting, because it would be regulated.
Yep.
And it would stop human trafficking.
They'd be mad about the deductions, though.
Yes, exactly.
Like, shit, I can't write off the lube now. God,
yeah, exactly. Well, you got an LLC. It'd be like pussyinc.com or whatever.
Handy LLC. Handy LLC. So no, but I think the reason why it became a big deal, and Tony will know this as well, the reason why it became a big deal is because Robert Kraft was one of those people who was very against football players kneeling. And this is what I mean by these people. Oh, that's the other thing, by the way. The guy who brought out the black woman at the hearing to prove that Trump wasn't racist. Now there's a video that just surfaced of this dude saying that he's going to send Obama back to Kenya. You can't make this shit up. These goofy motherfuckers, for some reason, forget that the internet exists. You can pull up all of this shit that you've done if it's on camera from somebody. Right. So the fact that he brought out this person, which, by the way, if you look at this lady's face, she honestly looked like she was part of being trafficked.
Yeah, she might have been.
She honestly was like, "Can I just tickle some balls or something?" Yeah, exactly. I really didn't want to do that.
I'd rather just give a hand job.
I just wanted to give a handy and write it off on my taxes.
She gave, that's what she basically did. She gave a hand job to the Republican.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. He wasn't against the Asian lady kneeling. Exactly. So I feel like these. when you being the hypocrite.
Right.
In this situation is the problem. Like, you can't come up here and say, well, I stand for all of this stuff and this and that, but then you turn around and do that. I'd rather you just say, hey, man, I'm really into this, and that's what it is. That's why I said to any of these people that if you're cool with this dude lying, just say you're cool with liars.
Right.
Just say you're cool with that. I'm not going to respect it, but I will at least say, okay, at least you're standing by that. But don't get mad on one end and then be oblivious and ignore the other side. So to me, we've come back to this point of, look, what kind of society do you want? Do you want one that's fair? And I go back to a quote that Jackie Cation said. And she said, I didn't realize how much I missed government. Like when people actually pretended to have some kind of morals,
right,
some kind of standards. And we don't have that now. So to me, once we get back to that, it'll be better. Tony says, I'm impressed at 77, he can still get that action. Yeah, man, but didn't they say he went twice? They said no, he said he stayed for a little while. He didn't right. go right away. He didn't leave after he came. Right.
He came and went?
He came. Right,
he went and came.
He went and came. So, yeah, you're right. At 77, I guess, if you still can. But you're a billionaire. You can afford all the shit.
Right.
To keep
the
it
Viagra.
Up. Shit, at 77, you can actually afford some people to literally hold your shit up. So it's like, yeah, just hold it in place. Hey, James B. Conley. What's up? James is here. Okay. All right. So where we at now?
Really quick, talking about racism. Back to Spike Lee. You also don't get to call Spike Lee racist. Like
Gene Papa.
What the fuck did Spike Lee do that was fucking racist in the first place? Let's say, like, I hear all these there's all these threads about Spike Lee being racist. I guess a while back he said something about if he sees a mixed race couple walking down the street, he shoots them daggers, which I don't know, completely out of context what the fuck that means. But even if he doesn't like mixed race couples, does that necessarily mean that he's automatically maybe he's racist? But what the fuck? Maybe that's a reaction to racism put on him, which is completely different.
And that's what I think. I think it's more so that because he made the movie Jungle Fever actually, and him and his dad actually got into it because his dad was in an interracial relationship. So
right.
But again, you can let me be real quick when I say this part. Like growing up in Chicago, and I gotta be honest with you, growing up in Chicago, I did not have a actual white friend until I joined the military. Like seriously, like I went to school with other cultures and all that, but as far as a friend, someone that I considered my friend that I would call and hang out with, I did not have one until I joined the military. A guy named Nate from Iowa or something like that. And we became friends because we were in the same barracks. We had to do training together and all this stuff. So I got to learn his lifestyle. He got to learn my lifestyle. I learned a lot more from different people from being around different cultures. I said all that to say with Spike, you can have a viewpoint about something. And if something changes in your life to where you're like, oh, okay, well, you know what? I kind of see things differently now. We had the same conversation about blackface before.
Right.
So I understand that he may have an issue with interracial couples, but that doesn't, again, make him...
And I don't know what his reason for that is. His reason might not be a racist reason.
No.
I mean, and now it is hard to say. I get it. The poor fragile white people out there might be like, well, how come it's wrong for me to say that I only want white people to marry other white people because I want to keep the white race pure and strong?
Okay, then that's where you started messing up, sir. But it's like, I want to keep the white race pure. I'll get stopped.
But the thing is that might be, if I've heard black people say, hey man, I want to keep black people marrying black people because basically similar arguments. And it's like, well, is that racist? I don't know, because there's a different history involved in that. But even if it is, so what? So maybe Spike on that one thing is a little bit, I seriously doubt that you're going to put Spike Lee in the same sort of racist colony or category as fucking Donald Trump or fucking David Duke or one of these fucking
I got to be honest
Nazis.
with you. Interracial dating, I wasn't really big into interracial dating until I went to Seattle. When I got to Seattle, it was like, if you weren't in an interracial relationship, something was wrong with you. Like, they gave you a cup of coffee and a white girl, like, as soon as you landed.
Yes. Well, there's only 4 black people in Seattle.
But pretty much.
Yes.
Pretty much. But
it's cold up there.
When you, if you in your mindset only want this because you feel like it is going to demolish your race, then that's more racist. But if you say, you know what, it's just not my thing. Right. Okay, it's just not your thing.
But with Spike Lee, is he he said, but if he doesn't want to date somebody outside of his race, okay.
That's fine.
But if he has a problem with other people doing it, that might be racist, but so what? I don't know if that. I don't know. Is that big of a deal?
I think his reasoning behind it, you would have to look at that more so. But again,
one quote doesn't tell us what the guy's fucking.
Not at all. Like you said, you got to look at the context of people's actions. So,
and then by the way, they said a study came out today that Dr. Seuss.
Yeah. Next topic.
Dr. Seuss is racist.
Let us know
because 80 years ago, Dr. Seuss had a fucking. I guess there was in one of the books. Dr. Seuss had an Asian guy that had chopsticks and was eating rice, because Asian people have never.
I don't know.
Eaten rice with chopsticks.
I thought they invented chopsticks.
Yeah, I don't know. But I guess
thing, right?
I guess there weren't a lot of black people in his cartoons. I didn't know there were a lot of people in his cartoons. I thought they were like red. I didn't know that Dr. Seuss really like who's and shit. I thought they were like their own thing.
Blue fish.
Yeah.
Black fish, clan fish.
Yeah, right.
Like I don't think that's how
I will not lynch him you will not ride in the back of the bus. You will not ride with us. Like, I don't know.
Where is that?
I don't remember that, Dr. Seuss.
What book was that?
Exactly.
Is that a Horton?
Here's a Jew?
Damn it. He beat me to it.
Which actually, what's funny is Horton Hears a Who was actually, he did realize, I guess, I read the whole article about that way back in his early days, that he had done some stuff because he'd written a lot of stuff, a lot of cartoons for the New York Magazine about World War II. So he had actually written some pretty negative things about the Japanese during the Japanese internment camps.
Right.
So apparently later on he basically said, yeah, I had done some stuff that probably wasn't great. So Horton Hears a Who was actually like a what's like a retribution? Retribution, where he was basically saying,
sorry.
I did some stuff that probably wasn't cool at the time. So that was kind of what. Yeah, maybe he did do stuff in the 40s. And then he changed. We're allowed to change a little bit. Sorry, you're allowed
back in the 40s. A lot of shit was different than it is now.
And there were a couple of racist people back then.
Just two or three.
Like
2 or 3 of them. Yeah, man, in one city.
Yes, but I didn't. It's weird. Like I've never
looked at Dr. Seuss that way. The only thing I looked at Dr. Seuss is like, man, who the hell is eating green eggs and ham? Who's doing that?
Right.
Who's doing that? But, okay, you guys, so where are we at in the show?
We got about 10 minutes.
We got 10 minutes. Okay, so listen. Is this the 10 for the Patreon people? Pay the bills.
Well, yeah, for people listening, we'll just keep going live. But for people who are listening, you know what? Let's just do something. We'll talk about it later. But we'll go for 5-10 more minutes. Where do they find you before we go off?
ComedianTyBarnett.com is the website. It's I would say interactive, but you can email me stuff. But that's all it is.
You can click on buttons and they go places.
And they go to different things. I'm not sitting at my damn computer just all the time. But Comedian Ty Barnett, which has a link to the Facebook, which is Comedian Ty Barnett, and the links to the Instagram and the Twitter. I think that's and then check out the web series. This is the bullshit I'm talking about. New episode will be up in the next day or so. New episode will be up soon, and you can find Ian at
IanHarrisComedian.com. Same thing. All my shit's on there. I'm easy to find. Google my name, see the bald head, and click friend, like, follow, right. Whatever. I hate the word follow. You want to be my follower? Like, what am I, a fucking religious?
Hilarious.
Yeah. I post pictures about my food. Follow me.